Hey everybody, so last night was the season finale of Pretty Little Liars, and I've never seen an episode before, but there were some tweets going out about World War A, and it just seemed really interesting, and then I got a little nosy, so I ended up watching. First off, the intro with the song came off a little creepy. I hadn't even seen the trailer for the season. I'd never seen a trailer for the show. I just know it's about 4 pretty little girls. That's basically all I knew. What did entice me was the whole World War A tweets. I didn't know if it was dystopian, or what they were going for, so then I started watching, and it actually had nothing to do with anything dystopian, so, which is fine, because it was still a really good show. Just a bit eerie. The intro does build up intrigue, like what's going on, who's in the coffin, did somebody die, how did they die. I had like 9 million questions because I had never seen the show. Marcia Cross was in it, and I was just like, oh snap, is that Marcia Cross? And then I thought for a second that it was, I know. Then I thought for a second O.J. Simpson was standing with her because, you know, in my mind the last time I saw Marcia Cross, O.J. Simpson was standing in the same room with her. But it wasn't O.J., it was just a black dude. And I thought to myself, if it was O.J., oh my god, be careful, there's a lot of pretty little white girls on the show, so, you know, I was concerned for their safety, but it turned out not to be him. The first half was pretty uneventful for me. I thought Ezra, the teacher, I'm not sure if it seems like he's hooking up, or he has hooked up with Arya, and it just came off, that part came off as creepy and pedophile-y, and ew, what the hell is she doing with him? She ends up kissing him in this episode, the teacher, and that didn't feel right to me. So in the second half is where things got good, and it actually held my attention. Someone named A is stalking them and going after Mona and following them and creating havoc. I didn't know who A is. So they go to a carnival, and at the carnival there's like a magic show, and they call one of the girls up, one of the pretty girls. They're all pretty, but one of the pretty girls up. Arya, I think her name is. They call her up. She goes in, you know, into the box where, you know, they make you disappear, and I'm like, well, no good can come of this. Don't go, girl, don't go. She goes, and then she comes back out, and she's fine, and I'm like, oh, that was uneventful. No, wait, the other girl in the group who was standing there with them, she's, I think, the prettiest girl. I call her the pretty girl. Emily. She ends up, she just disappears. Now, excuse me, this is a note to any of you. If you're standing next to me and someone kidnaps you, please scream. Feel free to scream. She just disappears, like, now you see her, now you don't. How do you just disappear and you're next to people? Alright, so girlfriend gets kidnapped. How? I still don't know. And they go find her, and she ends up in a coffin. The theme was coffins, which plays in towards the end. Then Emily ends up in a coffin, in a sawmill, on a conveyor belt, going towards the blade. They save her, and before that they go into A's lair, and he has this badass setup with his 3 computers, and all his hard drives. And my theory then is, the minute I see the screenshot of the computers, I'm like, well, A's a guy. I don't want him to be a guy. I have a nice setup. I want A to be a girl because girls can have nice setups. But in my mind, I'm like, well, the odds are this is a guy. Once they look at his closet, they see the clothes. Okay, so they know Stalker A is a guy. So then after they run out of the sawmill, this creepy woman with the glass eyes, ends up telling them that the girl that they originally, I guess, because again, I hadn't seen anything, the girl, Allison, is that her name, that they hit over the head and left for dead in a grave. Okay, first of all, I don't want to be friends with any of these girls. No, that part freaked me out. Like, I was on their side. I was on these Pretty Little Liars side until I realized they buried this girl alive. Glassy Eyes tells us that Allison is alive and she's hiding somewhere in a different town, and the girls decide that they want to go after her. Glassy Eyes says, don't go after her, leave her alone. I pulled her from the grave. I saw her hand coming out of the ground. I pulled her from the grave, kind of like the music video Thriller. And she's fine, but I don't want you to go near her because then you're gonna lead A straight to her because A is tracking you. That's it. But that's basically the whole show. And then in the last scene, we cut to inside A's lair with the really cool desktop setup with the monitors, the hard drives, and all the pictures, and it's kind of vaguely said to us that maybe A is Ezra, the creepy teacher who's pedophiling. So that's what happened on Pretty Little Liars last night. If you hit me over the head and bury me in a shallow grave, no. So I was kind of pissed off about that. But if you've seen Pretty Little Liars, let me know. Let me know if you think Ezra is A, or if you think there's a plot twist in there somewhere. We don't really get confirmation that Ezra is A. All they tell us is that he was in that room with the monitors. If you watched it, let me know what you did last night. Alright, you guys, we got the greatest show on earth. Live long and prosper. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. I think A is actually Caleb, because remember in the beginning of the show, the mother said that Caleb's girlfriend, I forgot her name, she's always safe when he's around her. We didn't see who was in that 1940s gas mask. So, my theory is it could be Caleb, and there's your plot twist. You're welcome.